to manage that, how to navigate that. And so we want to equip you the best we can with the knowledge we have on how to guide you. And it'll be something that you kind of unfolds for you and that you work with. You know, the biggest thing that can happen, especially like I can like, it's so apparent, like you look different, like a different man from when you walked in the door, right? You were like, you call and you're like, wait, I don't even know. Just let me know if I make it there, that it's going to be good. And so that's what I did. And you're here, and now you feel different than when you came, right?
Yes,
like
ma'am.
night and day different, right? And so that blesses my heart. I mean, each of you, the shift I've seen in you. But the biggest trick that can happen, especially with someone who's feeling so dark and bad, and then they come and they feel good. They're like, I feel great. I'm good. I'm good. I'm done. I don't, and it's the biggest trick because you feel good, so you think that that's where the work ends. But this, which I know you know, because we talked about it, is where the work begins. This is like where the work begins. This is, you have the awareness now. You have some tools to work with, and really what's happened is, these medicines go in and they rewire things, they reprogram things, and it also elevates your vibration, because when you're letting go of density, dense energy, your frequency is elevated. And so when you're vibrating at a higher frequency, you're more in line with, synchronicities and magic and the trueness, the realness of life. So it's real important now that you're at this higher frequency state, that you do whatever you can to anchor yourself here. Everything is energy. And so whatever you're consuming, whether it be what you're listening to, what you're eating, what you're just giving the power of your attention to, is going to affect your vibration. So it's either going to anchor you in this higher state, elevate you, or it's going to bring you lower. So if you have a pattern of getting on social media and getting wrapped up in that, and you just get right back into it, now's the time to reprogram those patterns so that you just don't go into that old habit. And so I encourage you to really, you have this neuroplasticity that's been created in the brain, expanded in the brain now. So like I was saying the other day, is a time that you really can intentionally create new patterns for yourself. Because if you don't, you'll fall back into old patterns. So it's like, what can you do? Like, what is this you, this high vibrational, highest version of yourself? What is this person? How do they move? What is their daily practice? Like, who are they? How do they behave? And then like actually doing those things. And I think it's a good idea, and I'll send you this all in a follow-up message too, but to pick out like a menu, like what did you like out of the morning practice that we did? Did you like the breath work? Did you like the grounding? Did you like the sun gazing? Make your own, write it on a piece of paper, list the things out you want to do, and every day give yourself a check mark by those things, just for the first week. Like really try to create that new pattern. Every time you do it, it like strengthens that neural pathway. So it's like creating that and doing that new habit creation every single day will help it anchor in, and it'll become easier. Just be your new habit of the way that you live your life and practice. And so that's really important. Another thing to be aware of is reactivation, especially after Bufo. Bufo is a medicine that you can really experience reactivation. It's very common. It's more likely that you'll have it than you won't. And that can be, it's quite enjoyable. Most people really like it. It can be intense for some people too, but like as you're drifting off to sleep, like when you're relaxing into slumber, you can just feel like you're drifting off to Bufo land. And you can kind of feel wavy and maybe hollow ears or something like that. But it's a very familiar, what's happening. You're like, okay, I had a reactivation. It can also happen during breath work. In the morning, I've never done this before, but I'm gonna lead you guys in a breath work that caused me to have a reactivation, without having done Bufo in a long time. So I want to at least show that to you guys and see if it works for you in the morning, because breath work is one of the most powerful tools you can use for reactivation. Don't be scared if it happens. You can, we're going to be using our signal group to stay connected and like drop in with each other. And for the next 60 days, every 10 days or so, we're going to have an integration call. But we'll use that group to, send photos of how we're doing. Like now we know each other. We care about each other and how everyone's doing. And part of integration is community. something that can happen in these ceremonies and in these experiences is that you have like really cracked yourself open. You have a newfound awareness, your consciousness has been expanded, and you're about to go back out into the world. And sometimes you can even feel isolated because you're looking around and you're like, wow, like you have this newfound, you can feel like you have this newfound awareness and like nobody understands, especially if you're going back into a similar community that you left from where nobody is kind of thinking out of the box. And you are like the, the one is kind of the one doing that, like indigo child, like stepping out. And so when you go back, you can feel isolated in a certain sense. So community is a really important thing. And that's one of the reasons we have our signal group, is that so we can stay connected with each other here. And I encourage you to, connect in communities in wherever you are, like whether it be you can seek and find the conscious community in your area. Now that you're vibrating at this higher frequency, it'll be easier to pull them in. But we on the signal group, a lot of times what we're doing is we're just dropping in and checking to see how each other is, and for that reminder, yeah, life is wild, life is crazy, life is still going to deal to you life. It's still gonna come at you in different ways. You're just going to be able to respond to it differently. And then sometimes it can when we get on the calls, we're just there to remind each other how good we are. Like, oh yeah, we got this. I know who you are. I see you. Like, we got this together. And so it's really special to drop in there and just to see how everybody's doing, to drop in and see how your Bufo glow is going, radiating so beautifully. And all of you. Another thing to mention is we touched on this a little bit the other day, but you're going back with your family, and your family is used to you being a certain way. Those of you who are going to be stepping back into your family, and they're used to receiving you in a certain way and the way that you've always been. And when you go back, you're going to be noticeably different when you step back into connection with people who have always known you as a certain way. And so it's a good idea to share with your partner, with your children, with your family. Hey, I went through this process. Have grace with me as we're moving through it, because I think even you said, Lauren, when Roger came home, he's like all excited, and you're like not in that state. So there can be like a kind of this disconnect, right? And so you have to work together with your family and let them know. And it's said something like if you have a new behavior, like you go home and you're like, I'm going to change this behavior. I'm going to start behaving this way. And the person might not be able to understand. It takes like 3 touch points of you acting in a new way before they can kind of receive it and kind of recognize it. So you just have to be gentle with yourself, be gentle with your loved ones as you're moving through this. The best thing, like a lot of people go home and they want their partner or their family to try it. And I'm like, you don't want to go home and just be preaching it to them. Let them see the way that you're shining. Let them see the way that you're vibrating. Let them see this shift in you. It's going to cause interest beyond what us telling them they need to do it will do. And so be the light, shine the light, shine the light, shine your love. It's the best way to get other people. They just can't, it's like, it's contagious. They can't stay away from that vibration and that frequency. Another thing I said, like I said, you're just be paying attention to like the subtle shifts that you notice. Like when you go out in your day to day, pay attention to yourself and notice how you're feeling, and notice how sometimes maybe you might get irritated in traffic, and now you might be in traffic like, oh, come on out, I don't mind. Notice little subtle shifts in yourself, because waiting in line, like stuff that used to might make you really frustrated or anxious or whatever, notice how now you might even enjoy it, or you might get a little giggle at yourself about how you used to be. It's really special to witness these little mini shifts in yourself, because they all add up to a whole different you. And people are like, oh, the guy, the tire shop was just telling me how he could feel how different I am. Like, people will notice, and just, I say to journal and take note of this, like take note of all the wins, take note of synchronicities. The more you give your attention to things, the more you notice them. And so whenever you have a synchronicity, like make it part of your journaling practice to write it down. Like, write it down. You'll be amazed at how many you get and how they add up. So everything, take record of your wins. And yeah, I love you guys. It's been such an honor to be here together and to share this work with you. And I just look forward to staying connected. Like, this is one of my, I think, biggest challenges has been like, everybody's feeling so good and everybody wants to stay connected for a few months, but then it kind of tapers off. But it's like, I want to figure out a way to keep us all connected in the group. So it's like, the more you can engage in there, like, the better. Like, the more you can engage in that group, the better. Let people, if you read an article that helped you, or if you found a song that you love, or a podcast or anything like that, like, drop it in the group, because we can all, it could be a whole catalog of great high frequency information in there. So, yeah.
I just sorted my catalog, so I'll be able to shoot that over to you.
Yeah. Does anybody have any questions or anything to add?
Spot on.
Yeah. Listen to your playlist. You guys might have noticed that when you come out and you hear the songs, they're very strategically picked. I listen to the same songs over every time because they're really special songs that I want to like embed into your psyche. Yeah. And so when you listen to those songs again, you'll feel it. You'll feel it. Like my Bufo song from 10 years ago is still like, if I hear it, it's like, okay, attention, you've got my attention. Yeah. And so you can like also all the things I was saying that we can do to anchor back into this time, like you will go into life. And like I said, you're going to like the Bufo glow, the Bufo high can last for weeks. It can last for months, right? And then it's going to be like, life just starts to happen and you kind of, the integration happens. It's like you may begin to forget again. It's like a potent hit of awareness of who you are when you come here. And then when you go into life, like life happens and then you just begin to kind of forget again, right? You can always do things to anchor you back, but then, it kind of tapers off and you're tapering off at a higher awareness, but it kind of, you just integrate back into normal life. So the more often you can do things to anchor yourself back to here, listening to the music, breathing in the rosemary, logging into the signal, doing the breathwork practices, all of that, the more frequent you could do that, the more you can keep yourself there. And, I love this analogy. I've been sharing it a lot lately, is that like you come here, like, so you're just looking at life through a windshield and, things happen in life, heartbreak, losing a loved one, like everything that just throws all this fog, throw all this like dirt and fog on your windshield. And so when you come to one of these psychedelic retreats or experiences, it's like this big windshield wiper comes and just clears the way and you can see clearly out of the windshield. But when you go back into life, you get fired from your job, this happens, it just throws more dirt on the windshield. So it can start to like just fill up again. And there may be a time that you want to come and revisit some of these medicines or others. There's others too that are really beautiful that we work with. And so whenever that's needed, we're here. I also have a lot of knowledge about the medicines. I can guide you if you're looking for a different one to try or to follow up with. So always happy to be here for that too. But it's really cool to like, I don't want to see you back, too often, right? Like it's not something I desire because the medicines give us a taste of that which we always have access to. And then being able to tap back into that on our own without any medicine is the best thing to learn to do. And it's learning, being connected and getting to know yourself so deeply so that like when you're being called to it and when, because people can come back to the medicines, sometimes way too often. But I don't usually get that here. But it can be a thing. I think that's it. 15 minutes. Wow, that's a long talk. Sorry.
Perfect.
Sorry. I hate sitting and listening to people talk for 15